Okay, so we're wild crafting a foundation for this door here, and we worked on the fasteners last night, and we thought we were going to put these 8-inch anchor bolts that look like this here, but it turns out that the block, actually the old slab, this is the new slab, the old slab was similar to the height of this, and the block wall, which is behind here, runs down to the bottom of the slab at least. So the foundation wall is actually below the top of this foam here, and that made it so we couldn't get into the solid concrete for this bolt. But my dear friend just so happened to have this huge box of these giant Rothoblast screws, which are totally awesome. And we actually have some bigger ones somewhere. I don't know where anything is, but we have these that are 3 inches longer, and we were able to use this concrete drill with a 1/4-inch bit to clearance for the screw. We tried it with a 3/16 bit and it was too aggressive, but these screws can drill directly into masonry like this without a pre-drill. They're pretty hardcore, but in the concrete's too hard for that. We broke a couple screws. They're really, really hard to break. We were putting them in with this 3/4-inch impact here, and sometimes you break the bit, sometimes you barely break the screw. Either way, we drilled a clearance hole with that, and then we were able to get these all the way through the concrete block, and then embedded about 2 inches into some of the cores had structural solid fill, and we were able to get those. So we put like 30 screws in here like that, and they sunk in really well and held very well. We had some experiments with some sort of traditional blue Tapcon screws, but that was not it, and the ones I had were too short. So we sort of got the United Nations of screws here, and but we got these big Rothoblast screws. Oh, here's the bigger ones. Okay, they're not 3 inches bigger. They're 1.5 inches bigger. But it's a meaningful amount. And we got these also a second layer in the second board here. And then we're shimming on top of the foam to level these little blocks. And then we're using some recycled hardy board here. Not fancy, but we're getting that in there so that we'll have a non-compressible material, because it's this tricky thing where we're trying to have this 12 inches of exterior insulation, which is extremely important to keep this concrete warm on the inside. We don't want that getting cold like it used to, and we want to mount the door with a high amount of insulation, and so we're trying really hard to not bridge this thermal gap by like pouring concrete in here or something like that to set the door on, because that would completely ruin all of the thing we're working on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to shim it with this hardy, and then we're going to put this foam in here. Again, this is that fancy foam from those other videos, and then that foam is going to go and create our under door thermal break. And then we're going to foam around in any of the voids that still remain before we put this 2x12 by 19 foot board in here. Almost 19 feet. 18.5. No, maybe it is 19. That's the drop anyway. This was a 20. And we're gonna put this on top, and then we're gonna mount this door on it by shimming up with the same kind of shims that we have here on top of this 2x. And that's gonna be what the door sits on. And then we're gonna have a gravel drain here on the outside so none of this stuff gets wet. Yeah, that's what we're doing. This is definitely wildcrafting, but I feel pretty solid about this. This ledger is extremely well fastened, and on this side we got all of our screws into the old concrete floor, which was extremely hard because it's like 50 or 70 years old or something. So that was really good. We're gonna put our ledger on there, put our shims on there, and our shims are gonna be about 7/8 of an inch high, which is gonna be clearance enough for the forklift. So I'm gonna pick up the door. All the mass is on this side, so we're gonna take the braces off, and then I'm gonna pick up the door, and we're gonna try not to tip it over. And I'm gonna drive forward with it, and we're gonna have the forks. I'm gonna measure out the center of the load of the glass and then move over that way 4 inches is what I did before with the straps, to make sure that I sort of account for the lever arm of this little counterbalance over here. And then we're gonna pick it up, and then I'm gonna drive forward. I'm gonna have that same layout of the forklift's tines marked on this 2x12. And then I'm just gonna set it right on the 2x12, and then the door will sit on the shims, and then the shims will not be where the forks are, so I can extract the forks, and we won't have to do any heroic lifting, although this door is pretty heavy, so nobody's gonna be doing any lifting, only the diesel fuel. And yeah, so I'm gonna have that thickness there for my forks, so I can set it down and then sneak out. So, and it's already in position in the shape that it goes. So I think we're ready. I'm sorry I can't have a beautifully cut together sequence of videos of us actually setting this. So I hope that this little talk is sufficiently informative. I'm just one guy, and I'm extremely busy, so I have zero time to edit a video, but I can make a little video here and there. So maybe one day when my daughter is a little older, she'll be excited to watch the things that I was doing all those times. So anyway, that's what we're doing this morning. So it's gonna be super exciting. I'll definitely make a success video after this. We obviously got it off the truck using that strap plan, so this is already a success video. So thanks in advance. Bye.